There we go. That's what it was. I have to click add to stream. I'm just fucking retarded. Okay. We got it going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. I was not expecting to be making this. I have no clue what you heard, what you didn't hear when I was talking, because quite frankly, well, it's just a boomer moment for me. And we got something that I was not expecting to have today. And that something is Critical fucking K. As you can tell by the title of this stream, Critical K has been sanctioned again. This was not unexpected. This was honestly the inevitability, I guess you could say, of her being an absolute fucking idiot consistently. And there's an echo. Okay, God damn it, Vlad. I was like, there's an echo? There shouldn't be an echo. Why is there an echo? Okay, so I'll give you a rundown of who K is in a second. I want people to filter in just a little bit, because we got this isn't a long stream. Okay, unlike the, let me turn this just a little bit. Unlike the stream 2 days ago, this should not be a long one. Hang on. I need my coffee. I definitely need coffee. And we got quite a bullshittery, and it's very fun because this is probably not the last. This is probably not going to be the last sanction against her. So, I know some people who follow me know who K is. I know some people who just started following me know who K is. And by the way, how's the sound? I actually found why. I figured out why it sounded so muddy on Sunday, where where it sounded muddy. So, hoping it sounds okay. Anyways, let people filter in. And, we're gonna be having a lot of fun with this shit show. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this shit show. Audio, Wyatt, I don't care. Say it in chat. Do not DM me on fucking Discord. Seriously, I tell you that how many times, Wyatt? Don't DM me on Discord. I don't check it. I don't like it when I'm fucking streaming and I see pop up on Discord, because I assume that it might be something actually kind of fucking important. It's not. If there's a problem with the audio, let me know in chat. I'm checking chat. I'm not checking Discord. Okay? Goddamn. Anyways, what we have here is Critical K. I fucking hate you, Vlad. I fucking hate. I will. Boy. Anyways, all right. Let's get into who Critical K is. Critical K, Karen Marie Yaks. I'm not doxing her. That's in the fucking filings. She has been known for a while. Critical K is a true crime YouTuber podcaster. For those who don't know what that is, it is basically middle-aged women with no love prospects, perpetually single, usually single mothers, who decide that they're going to talk about crimes, usually against women, right? It's not usually crimes against guys. It's generally speaking crimes against women. Critical K is a larger piece of shit than normal. She is an individual who was running around with a group of similarly cat piss scented women, some with criminal records, some, just in general, just pieces of shit, right? And she kind of got a bit of a name during the, Shannon Watts murder trial. And she got it for the wrong reasons. She was actually telling people that Shannon Watts, the woman, had murdered her daughters and then killed herself, right? There was no evidence to support that, but she was thirsting after the dick of the husband. And she wanted to, I don't know why she did it. I don't really care why. But she was talking about how this woman was found face down and ass up along with her daughters in a fucking hole, right? Because they were found in a hole at the work site for her husband, and she was laughing with people and saying stuff like that, and kind of shock jock shit. Only then she tried to take the shock jock and go, "Oh, that was never me. I was wrong. And then she went from "I was wrong" to "I never get anything wrong. Period. Any discussion. I never get anything wrong." And that's a fucking lie. Whatever. Has Critical K declared her sovereign citizenship yet? Not yet, but I'm pretty sure that's coming. Now, Kay was saying stuff like that, and you would think, wow, what the fuck? Sounds like a piece of shit, and she is. And then she came onto my radar because Kay got involved in the Sophie Long case. In the Sophie Long case, I won't go into it, but Kay was put in touch with the mother after coming out and saying, "Yeah, Chris Watts did it. Shannon didn't do it. I apologize, even though I don't really fucking mean it," as she's got a shit-eating grin the entire time. Because again, lusting after the guy's fucking dick. Are you talking about the Watts family murders, or is it a different case? Yes, the Watts family murders. Yes. Yes. And Kay came onto the radar because she started stooping for Sophie's mother, Kelly Long, against the father, Michael Long. And she and her friends actually engaged in doxing and harassment of other individuals, specifically an individual named, who goes by the online moniker Ken Jennings. We refer to him as Kiwi Farms Ken Jennings because it's not the Ken Jennings from Jeopardy. She actually tried to dox him. Her friends did dox him, led to him being fired. And yeah, I've seen the paperwork for that. So, Kay likes to say that she never saw anything. Well, I wouldn't give her anything either because, she's a dumb bitch. Kay then gets into a bunch of shit. Yours truly, because Ken is a good guy, a genuinely good guy, was working with children who have been sexually abused themselves, right? He's a registered therapist. Had sounds like spy software problems who arranged what? Like spy software what? I don't know what's going on there. Where was I? Oh, right. So he actually works with like veterans and children and stuff like that as a therapist. And she and her friends got him fired. Now he's since gotten another job and whatnot, but Kay likes to try and rewrite history and say, "Oh, I never tried to do anything." And we have evidence. We have recordings of her, trying screenshots of her trying to get in touch with his job and try and get him fired that way. She was such a useless sack of fucking shit, right? That her own friends didn't want to clue her into what they were doing. And in response, yours truly actually doxed all of them. And I know I doxed all of them because they immediately started losing their fucking shit and changing the story. "Oh, it wasn't, that's not who we are," to, "Well, you got some of us, but not all of us," to, "You need to get rid of this because some of us have children." And then they moved on to, "Some of us are veterans or the wives of active duty. You need to get rid." No, that ain't going to work. You brought it into real life. And, was it a piece of shit thing to do? No, I'm not going to. It actually, I had to justify it to myself to do it. And then I was just like, fuck it. You dumb twats want to bring it into real life. You dumb twats want to assault, harass people. Fine. Kay has always tried to play herself off as a bully, that she's an alpha, and she's fucking not. This case in particular, she's being sued for defamation by a woman named Ray Andriacchio. And Ray's son died. He died. The allegation is it was a self. We'll just go with self. Okay, you can get what I mean there. And Ray thinks it's something else. She thinks it's an actual murder, but Kay doesn't believe it. And she said a couple of things, and quite a few of those things were defamatory, allegedly, as Ray Andriacchio puts her in complaint. Some of them were uh, defamatory. I certainly would say that since Ray Andriacchio is a therapist, or at least works in the mental health field, trying to tie her son's death to the death of allegedly one of her clients, the only common denominator is Ray Andriacchio. Well, that's defamatory per se in her field, right? And she filed this lawsuit. And Karen has been belligerent as shit. She did file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. It was denied because specifically she was on a call, streamed herself live on a call with people from Mississippi, where she was saying some of the defamatory things to those people, knowing they were in Mississippi. That puts you within the jurisdiction. She has flagrantly violated, ignored really what the court has told her, right? You need to do X, Y, and Z. This is what the court wants you to do. She ignores it. And she's had 2 sanctions against her now. 2. First one was for $100 because she didn't show up to a telephonic conference. She just ignored it, right? She didn't show up. She got sanctioned $100. She paid it off. This one was an in-person pretrial conference in October of last year. October 18th, I think it was. It was the 15th or 18th. I can't remember. And she tried to, I'd like to appear telephonically, even though the last telephonic conference, she literally told the court to fuck off. And the court was like, no, you have to come in person. And she didn't. And what's mentioned in this order is the fact that she was apparently in internet chat saying, yeah, they said they're going to sanction me. I'm just never going to go there. So the court was like, okay, motherfucker, let's play. So this is the second sanction against her. And this is not a long stream. I don't think it's going to go more than an hour. I really don't think it will. Because it's a 6-page document. Unless somebody brings up something else to fucking talk about, it's nothing. But, I wasn't expecting this to come out. Next Monday, I think it is the 20th. Is that? Yeah, the 20th. She has another in-person hearing to take care of all the other motions that are before the court, including her updated motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, which doesn't change anything. She was given permission to file later with new evidence if she thinks she has it. Earth says, I thought she was banned from YouTube. Fun fact. She is. She is. And she created another account, which is really funny because when Nick Rekieta was temporarily suspended, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. When Nick Rekieta was suspended last year, the end of last year, she actually tried to go on and go, oh, well, he needs to accept that he's been banned and, he just needs to accept it. Take the L. And it's like, bitch, you're back on YouTube under a new account, Just K. Kind of hypocritical, ain't it? But of course, Kay doesn't really care. Kay can do whatever the fuck she wants as far as she's concerned. And so we get to this point. Now, she has, as I said, another hearing in person next Monday to take care of a bunch of motions. She wants to show up to this one. She's going to want to show up to this one. She was told in February, it might have been the end of February. Yes, you have to be here in person. No, you do not. You do not destroy your own defense of lack of jurisdiction. You've already preserved that, right? The court's not going to say that you now fall under our jurisdiction because you did what we told you to. So if she doesn't, third time is not the charm for her. One of the sanctions that they are requesting is a default judgment against her because Twice now, she's been told you need to be at these hearings, and twice now, she's gloated about not being there because she doesn't give a shit. She thinks the court doesn't have any jurisdiction. You don't want to do it a third time. I'm just telling you. I said the sanctions would not be the default judgment. I did not think that the default judgment would be the sanction she'd receive for this. I didn't think it would be. It's not. But we'll get into, let's get over to this. Let's go over here. That's what I want. I want that. That's the one I fucking want. So, order imposing sanctions against her. Before the court is plaintiff's motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 16F. The court, having considered the submissions, the record, and relevant law, finds that the motion for sanctions pursuant to the rule is granted as discussed below. Now, remember, she had been told if you don't show up to this, you will be sanctioned. Not may, will be. And then she was told to give a damn good reason why you're not here, why you weren't here. And she went from, 6, 7, we'll go with a year ago, and she was saying, I'm a fucking alpha. You ain't met a bitch like me yet. She then comes around and goes, well, I'm actually afraid because people are harassing me. And the plaintiff is leading this charge against me, basically getting a taste of her own medicine during the Sophie Long case, the Shannon Watts case, etc., where she would do that, where she and her her friends would go out and harass people who were taking a position that was counter to the narrative they wanted to push. And now she's going, I'm being harassed by people, right? Previously, she couldn't be held responsible for other people she might associate with who would harass, say, Ken Jennings or myself or whatever. I don't believe I was ever harassed. They tried to, but I'm not a bitch. So you didn't harass me. But she turns around now and is going, I'm being harassed by people. Well, bitch, turnaround's fair play. It's a little funny. It's a little fun. It's very fucking funny. Relevant procedural history. The case was set on the docket of this court for an in-person settlement conference on August 30th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m., dated December 15th, 2021, meaning that December 15th, 2021, they had slated this settlement conference for August 30th. So it's like 8 months away. Okay. She had plenty of time to know. Okay. Plenty of fucking time. On August 18th, the court received the following email correspondence from defendant Karen Yax. Hello. There's a settlement conference scheduled for 8/30/22 at 9:30 a.m. I am unclear on how to attend such conference as I am not in Mississippi and am not able to be. I am also presently awaiting a response to my request for summary judgment, which was filed 7/5/22. Realistically speaking, I have nothing to offer the plaintiff by way of financial settlement. That's not a good enough reason for summary judgment in your favor, which I have already communicated to plaintiff's counsel. Now, she had been offered kind of, a settlement. Look, you're going to pay us a little bit of money, and all this information you say that you have, right? You say you have all this information, you're going to give it to us, and you're just not going to talk about her again. Her response was, I don't have anything. I basically made it all fucking up, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And now the conferences that are happening are just mandated. They have to be. They have to be done before you can get to trial. And Ray Andriacchio has made it very clear that she is no longer going to be putting forth any offers on the table. It's all going to be, guess what? What's required? We're going to show up, but you're not getting any deals now, right? You're not going to get any deals. That's what Ray Andriacchio said. The court responded via email and advised the defendant that her in-person attendance at the settlement conference scheduled for the 30th of August was mandatory pursuant to the local rules and the governing case management order. Defendant replied, this is absolutely impossible. I will not be able to physically attend this conference as Jackson, Mississippi, is over 1,000 miles away from me, and I am unable to afford to travel there and stay there. Despite her previously being in Hawaii, she actually mailed a motion, or I think it was her answer to this lawsuit, from Hawaii. Okay, she was on vacation. She lives in Michigan, by the way. So, in addition, I have minor children who start school August 29th and need transportation to school. Is there no way to allow me to attend the conference virtually or via Zoom? Because the last time you were allowed to attend virtually or via Zoom, you didn't show up and bragged about not showing up, and that's why you were sanctioned the first time. Again, the court now has seen that you don't give a good goddamn motherfuck about any of that. The court is looking at it going, who fucking cares, right? Now we're going to make sure that you show up. You're not going to have the ability to just ignore us. You're going to have to show up or be sanctioned. And she didn't show up. Hence why we're here. On August 26th, 2022, defendant filed her motion to apply for telephonic conference or via video conference, where she requested to attend the settlement conference scheduled for that date via telephone. The court denied the motion. However, in light of defendant's indication that travel to Mississippi would result in a financial hardship, the court allowed the defendant additional time to make travel arrangements. Now, the plaintiff has said that they would have allowed her to appear via Zoom. They would have had no objections. They would have said, Your Honor, she can do it. Right? If she'd attached anything to show that it would have been a financial hardship, affidavits, bank statements, tax returns, something to show that it would have been an actual fucking problem for her, that it would have been an actual fucking financial hardship. And she didn't. So she had to appear in person. What would sanctions do? Gilded Pooh asks. Sanctions can be anything monetary, which is what happens here. It could be even the default judgment that they moved for, right? It could have been something like that. I didn't think it was going to happen because, quite frankly, this early on, strike two, not really. Even though she was laughing about not showing up, I didn't see the court doing that. I just didn't see it happening. It hasn't happened, but we'll get into that in a second. However, the court directed the parties to confer and select mutually agreeable dates for an in-person settlement conference, meaning that they were told, hey, talk to one another, talk amongst yourselves, figure out a date that you can get down here to have the conference. The court, on September 1st, counsel for the plaintiff advised the court via email that the parties had not agreed upon a new settlement conference date. Plaintiff's email provided the following. Judge Isaac, this email is being sent to Miss Karen Yaks as well. Per your order, we were to confer with each other and then report back to you with our available dates for an in-person settlement conference. Miss Yaks tells me that she can't agree to a date and that she cannot come to Mississippi. She cites her responsibilities as a mother with children in school, her financial situation, and other concerns. And she claims that she's unable to come to Mississippi. I've asked Miss Yaks if she intends to come to the pretrial hearing in November or the trial in December. She has yet to respond to my query. For what it may be worth, my available dates for the settlement conferences are September 15th, 16th, 22nd, and 28th, and October 6th, 7th, 17th, and 18th. So she was basically saying, I'm not going to show up. And when they said, are you going to show up to the pretrial conference in November? Are you going to show up to the trial that's in December? She just blew them off. She left them on red. If you have any questions, please let me know. The court reset the settlement conference for October 18th, the last date that he gave, dated September 1st, advising all persons are required to be present. On October 12th, the court sent an email reminder to all parties advising of the upcoming settlement conference on October 18th. The court received the following email response from defendants. Respectfully, as I have said prior, I am unable to attend the settlement conference for financial reasons. It is too far to travel, and I have minor children obligations, and it is simply not feasible for me to be there in person. Additionally, I filed several motions on 7/1/22, and I respectfully request these be ruled on. I also respectfully request a motion to continue this matter. Please understand, I have no intention of ignoring the court's request. Yeah, you did. I am simply trying to work within the parameters available to me as a pro se, out-of-state defendant. I also respectfully ask again to attend the conference telephonically and pray for relief in this matter as appropriate. No motion. She's just emailing now. Basically, I'm a mother. I have mother things to do. I need to take care of my children. Fine, whatever. You can get a babysitter. You have a husband. He can take care of the kids, right? Oh, my husband will be coming down with me. Why? Don't know. Hey, fuck it, whatever. So again, she lied to the court. Okay, I have every intention to show. I have no intention of ignoring the court's request. It's not a request; it's an order. By the way, it's an order. It's not a request. But she had every intention of doing so. The court responded to defendant's email as follows. Ms. Yaks, the court is in receipt of the below email response, meaning the above one. Please note this court is not excusing you from in-person attendance at the upcoming settlement conference and will levy sanctions as appropriate should you fail to appear as directed. Additionally, the court entered an order directing defendant to attend in-person settlement conference set for October 18th. In advising, this court has granted ample time for defendant Yaks to comply with its orders and coordinate travel to attend the settlement conference. Remember, she had not talked to the plaintiff's attorneys. She basically blew them off. She ghosted them. She left them on red, whatever you want to say. Getting us to this point. A court's looking at this and going, I don't give a fuck if you're a pro se. If they're trying to contact you, set these things up like we told you to, both sides to do, and you're ignoring them, you look like the bitch. You look like the fucking twat. The settlement conference went forward as scheduled. The plaintiff attended. The defendant failed to attend. Excuse me. Analysis. On October 19th, plaintiff filed the instant motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 16F, arguing the defendant's failure to appear was deliberate. Plaintiff cited to a September 1st, 2022 email sent by plaintiff to this court, as well as a screenshot of an internet chat. In the internet chat, which occurred at or near the precise time the defendant was scheduled to be present for the settlement conference, defendant indicated that the court threatened to sanction her again and that she was not going there ever, a seeming reference to defendant's lack of intent to make an appearance in this matter. Plaintiff seeks an order requiring the defendant to pay the reasonable expenses, including attorney's fees incurred because of any non-compliance. Specifically, plaintiff seeks a total amount of $895.67 for expenses incurred by both plaintiff and her legal counsel as set forth in the plaintiff's statement of costs. Plaintiff also moved this court for additional sanctions as requested in plaintiff's motion for default judgment. On October 24, 2022, the court entered an order to show cause directing that defendant show cause in writing on or before October 28th as to why she did not participate in the October 18th settlement conference and as to why she should not be sanctioned by this court for disobeying an order of this court. Defendant filed a response to plaintiff's motion for sanctions and the motion to show cause. In a response, defendant argues this court erred in denying her request to attend the settlement conference telephonically. She's basically saying, you made an error in not allowing me to show up remotely, and that's why I didn't show up. That's basically what it came down to. You made an error not allowing me to show up, so I didn't show up. Because I think I'm allowed to do that, right? I think you made an error, so I can ignore you. It's not how it works, bitch. In a response, defendant argues this court, defendant asserts her pro se status, places her at a disadvantage, and she refers to herself as a reluctant pro se litigant. Yeah, you're a defendant. All defendants are reluctant. That's kind of how it works. She submits while she understands the benefits of attending in-person mediation, she maintains that it is precisely due to the detrimental, cost-prohibitive, lengthy abuse of the process at the expense of defendant and the civil court to which plaintiff seeks to harass and prolong this legal process, having no intentions of ever seeking a meaningful resolution in mediation. Again, they said that there was no longer going to be any mediation because she ghosted them or she became belligerent. She basically told the plaintiff to fuck off when they were trying to mediate. She did. And then she turns around because she's a dumb fucking narcissist and she goes, well, they don't want a resolution mediation now. It's their fault. It's not my fault. You should dismiss this. They don't want to, I'm the victim here. I'm the fucking victim. What? I'm the victim because they no longer want to work with me in mediation. You were the one who wasn't trying to work with them in mediation. And they finally got tired of your shit and said, you know what? It's a waste of fucking time. We'll see you in court. And then you turn around and go, well, now that they don't want to work with me in mediation, you can see how abusive this entire thing is. It's a stereotypical abuser's mentality to be the abuser and then turn around when it benefits you and say, well, actually, I'm being abused. Look at Amber Heard. Okay, it's a stereotypical narcissist bullshit from this broad. Defendant further submits that she does not have the disposable income to arrange for continual round-trip airfare to travel to a foreign jurisdiction to engage in a 20-minute mediation conference with an undoubtedly hostile and vexatious litigant, which will inevitably result in a fruitless outcome. Further, defendant offers that she did not attend the settlement conference due to her economic constraints, lack of access to reasonable legal counsel, and a legitimate fear for her physical safety, mental health, and well-being whilst traveling alone to an unknown state to engage with plaintiff in light of her abusive, malicious, and relentless conduct. Again, she's the abuser previously, and now she's turning it around to make herself the victim. I'm really being abused. I'm the victim in this. This is standard narcissistic personality disorder at this point. She's the victim in all of this. In a reply to the defendant's response, plaintiff reasserts her request for sanctions. In support of her motion, plaintiff submits that she is entitled to sanctions based on defendant's contumacious refusal to obey an order of this court, and she further responds to the assertions in defendant's response. Importantly, plaintiff notes, 1, the complaint states a valid claim. 2, this court has personal jurisdiction over the defendant, thus the defendant is bound by this court's orders. And 3, defendant has no valid reason for disobeying the court's order. Defendant filed a rebuttal addressing only her defenses to defamation per se, yet offering no further explanation or argument in response to plaintiff's motion for sanctions or this court's order to show cause. On motion or on its own, the court may issue any just orders if a party or its attorney fails to appear at a scheduling or other pretrial conference or fails to obey a scheduling or other pretrial order. And this comes from the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, 16F1A and 16F1C. Failing to follow direct orders from the court unnecessarily disrupts the orderly progression of this case. The court warned defendant Yaks that her attendance at the settlement conference was required, and despite having been granted multiple extensions of time to make appropriate travel arrangements, and having been warned multiple times of the consequences of failing to follow the court's directives, defendant failed to attend. Thus, defendant willfully refused to obey the court's order, directing her to appear in person for the subject settlement conference. This court finds that plaintiff's explanation, they mean defendant. This court finds that defendant's explanation for her failure to appear is unsatisfactory. Moreover, this court notes sanctions were previously imposed for the defendant's failure to participate in the telephonic case management conference on December 14, 2021. Again, she didn't show up for a telephonic conference. Now they're making her show up in person, and she didn't show up there. Despite the court's previous imposition of sanctions and numerous warnings, defendant elected to obey this court's orders. The court is therefore of the opinion that sanctions are appropriate for defendant's failure to attend the settlement conference. As for plaintiff's request for additional sanctions, as set forth in plaintiff's motion for default judgment, the undersigned declines to rule upon this request and notes the motion for default judgment will be decided by the district court judge. So she's not out of the woods yet. They didn't deny the motion for default judgment. That's going to go to the judge who's supposed to hear this at trial. They get to make that decision. So, you might want to show up to this hearing on Monday, Karen, because if you don't, I think that there's a good chance at that point that they will decide, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. You've ignored us 3 times in a row. You bitch out, you play the bitch, and you just run off. You ignore us. Fine. You can take it to the appeals court. We'll make you spend more fucking money now. We're going to make you spend money. Have fun. We're done with this. I think there's a good chance at that point that default judgment may be granted. Conclusion is therefore ordered that sanctions in the amount of $895.67 be imposed upon defendant Yaks. It is further ordered that defendant Karen Yaks remit this sum to the clerk of the court on or before May 1st, 2023. Defendant is advised that failure to comply with the court's orders herein will likely result in the imposition of further sanctions. So it's not a it's not a will likely. She's gonna be. She will be sanctioned again. She's been sanctioned twice at this point. She doesn't get to ignore it a third time in state. She's going to be. Mississippi is literally the poorest and therefore the cheapest state in the country. It wouldn't be expensive for her to get a motel. Yeah, but she also believes that she's not required to attend. She thinks she's above the law in this because she has said that she is above the law. The court has no jurisdiction over me. And because I believe that, then I don't care. But there's also another thing. She plans to attempt to file bankruptcy if and when she loses a trial or default judgment comes down. She's already stated her intention to do so. They come down, they do this, I'll fuck up my credit for like 7 years. No, that's not how it works. The Fifth Circuit, which Mississippi is in, actually has a ruling that states that as a defendant, if you lose a defamation case, you cannot discharge it through bankruptcy because it is a willful tort, meaning you intentionally did this. This is the penalty for you having done this willingly. You can't get rid of it in bankruptcy. That's what she intends to do. She's admitted this. That's not going to work for her. Won't work for her. And I would. She's setting herself up for failure. Because if it came back, right, that all of this never should have happened, there's a case to be made, an argument to be made that all the money she spent should be taken care of by the plaintiff at that point. Because if this had been decided back then she would not have had to have spent this money. The court should, sanction, I guess you could say, or give her all her money back, plus probably some interest or some shit like that. That's probably what she would argue. I don't know how it would work out because she half-assed everything, but I could see her trying to make that argument. I could see it. So there you go. That's what it is. The dumb broad was sanctioned $900 for not showing up. And she has until May 1st to give that money to the clerk of the court. And if she doesn't, probably more sanctions. So there you go. There's the update on Karen Yax, on Hypocritical K. As I said, I wasn't expecting this since she has a hearing coming up on this Monday. I wasn't expecting anything. I did look, by the way, to find out if there is anything from Rakeda, because I was expecting there would be, just to cover all the bases. I'll check one more time. There does not appear to be. So nothing from Rakeda. Specifically, I was expecting sanctions since this is the 21st day, although it might not come until tomorrow. Because they filed a motion for sanctions because let's take care of this really quick. Let's go back to here. Okay, so they filed motion for sanctions because they claim with evidence that either Montegraph or his lawyer lied to the court. They used that lie as the basis for a motion, and then they admitted it was a lie only because they have no defense against that motion, really. You have 21 days to cure the issue, as it's put. That was filed on the 22nd of February. And in response, that same day, he cried about it to the court. Schneider, the attorney, cried about it to the court. And now, you've had 21 days to get ready for this motion. I mean, Randazza, I would be very surprised if he hasn't put the motion together. If he doesn't have the motion ready to go, he might wait until after this motion this motion is determined to file the sanctions motion. I don't know. She sounds like a real winner. Yeah, Karen is a piece of shit. Karen 100% is a piece of shit. Nobody should be under the impression that she isn't. She absolutely is. You know, stereotypical woman. Stereotypical, almost 50 fucking years old, perpetually online woman who has nothing going for her. I mean, her oldest child cut her off. I just want to put that out there. Her oldest child, from what I understand, has a restraining order against her because she's fucking insane. I just want to put that out there. Her own son has a restraining order against her. It has for like 10 years because she's fucking insane. He and his wife want nothing to do with her. But she's going to tell you how bad you are. It's not really going to work. Yeah. Wow. Imagine being such a piece of shit that your own child wants nothing to do with you. That's oof. Anything else I should talk about? I kind of want to drag this out to an hour. So is there anything else I should talk about? Yes, I did listen to, by the way, I did listen to the Sparky stream that happened right before mine. Nothing spectacular from that. Literally, it's nothing. So I'm not going to go over that at all. Did you give permission to restream this? I don't care if anybody's restreaming this. Who's restreaming it? I expect it to be a rehash. Well, yeah, it was basically just a rehash before my stream. I think he was trying to get ahead of things, and there's a hog who will probably have some of his kids eventually have restraining orders. You're assuming that said bog hog is going to survive long enough for them to need restraining orders. I mean, one of his kids already has a restraining order against him. Xander has a restraining order against his own father. And he's a fucking infant. He's a toddler. Although on that, apparently Ralph has filed his own contempt claims against Vickers. Pro se. And apparently it's a blast. I believe Vickers is going to stream it tonight. He's going to read over it. But apparently it's a doozy. I don't care if you restream it, Earth. I don't care if you restream. I literally just said that. I think Ralph's gonna be dead before anything. He's gonna be dead before anything. Kind of want to see something really quick. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. This might actually be worth it might actually be worth using for my video game streams. Which I'm thinking of running one after this, but I don't know. I still need to eat. Ralph's career is very, very dead. Dude, the guy is literally sleeping on stream. He overdoses on fucking Xanax. He's taking like 10 milligrams at a time. You normally take like 2 milligrams. He's taking like 10 milligrams of Xanax alongside whiskey and passing out midstream. Although I'm really excited because the 17th, this Friday, is it? Yeah, this Friday, he has, let's see, I think it's the trial for the contempt for Faith, him violating Faith's DVRO. And then I believe there's another hearing on the father's DVRO, or restraining order, not DVRO, right after that. And he has to be at both of them. He's been given permission to appear via Zoom, but he can't ignore it. And oh man, that's going to be fun. That is going to be. I wish I could be a fly on that wall. I wish I could be, because that, I guarantee you, is going to be fucking hilarious. It's going to be. It's going to be fucking hilarious at this point. He's representing himself. I'm surprised he's even waking up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't I he's a goddamn idiot. He is a goddamn fucking idiot. So yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, Nick's case isn't going anywhere. There's no motions. There's no responses. Apparently, the response doesn't have to be filed until April, or their reply doesn't have to be filed until April. So representing yourself sounds super smart. Yeah, yeah. An attorney who represents himself as a fool for a client. How do you think a guy who's strung out on benzos constantly and alcohol, how do you think he's gonna do? I don't think he's gonna do that well, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think he's gonna do that well. So, but as I said, I'm looking forward to it because it has potential to be fucking hilarious. It's a lot of potential to be fucking hilarious. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about. I'm just going through Twitter really quick, see if there's anything worth talking about. Yeah, it's like nothing. He should request the court live stream it. Yeah, I wish he would, but he's not going to. He's not going to. Supposedly, he was using Chat GPT to help him write it. I heard that. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I think he specific. I think he wrote this one just like he wrote his last one. Okay, he wrote this one just like he wrote the last one. Only this time he didn't have a lawyer sign off on it like they wrote it. I'm excited about it. I didn't think there was any chance he was going to jail. He might be now. He might actually. And if he goes to jail for violating the terms of his probation from the revenge porn, oh, that's the funniest fucking part. So apparently he puts in his contempt that he's not convicted of a sex offense, even though Virginia law says it's a sex offense. He claims it's a copyright dispute. That's right. Uploading revenge porn is not a sex offense. It's a copyright dispute. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Also, I had some guy DM me asking, hey, can you get in touch with Divinity for me? And I'm like, I ain't anybody's go-between. I completely agree with him. No, I don't agree. I understand you're trolling. You can't agree with that. Specifically, just put it up there because you're upset. No. Should it be a sex offense? Yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be. I think it should be. All right. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. I think we've gone about an hour. We don't have much going. I'm going to go play some more Zero Sievert. I don't know if I'll stream it. It's kind of a fun game, but I'm not sure if it's an early access game. So you mentioned possibly streaming gaming. What games do you like to play? I'm playing Last Epoch right now because it's playing Last Epoch. It's an ARPG in early access. They just brought the multiplayer aspect out. In fact, White and I need to play more of that. Zero Sievert, another early access game, a top-down looter shooter, kind of like an extraction. It's a loot extraction game, kind of like Escape from Tarkov. Only, again, 2D sprites. Arc, I've kind of gotten back into that, but that's a game that loses novelty really fast. Path of Exile, but I haven't played that in a month. What other games? I think that's really it. Like, I don't think I have really any other games that I play too much. I tried to get a game from fucking 1996 to play, but it won't, and I'm really pissed about that. Oxygen Not Included, that's another game I play a lot of. I love that game. That's a good game. Anyways, that'll be the stream. That's the sanctions. I'll probably upload the sanctions to the Discord. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a thankfully short stream. Not going for 5 hours like I did on Sunday. So it was a Saturday. I think it was Saturday. No, it was Sunday. It was Sunday. I don't know. I don't care. I had the day off today and I have it off tomorrow. Don't care. So you guys have fun. Enjoy it. I'm a Spectre. Thanks for watching.